This was painter Claude Monet's literal window to the world, the view from his home onto the colorful gardens he tended, the brilliant colors that intrigued him as an artist.
It's been said he liked to paint whatever he saw around him.
Yes, he liked to paint whatever he saw around him, but specifically nature.
With French artist Patricia Rinsky-Dargons as my guide, I explored Monet's gardens.
He loved particularly the blue flowers. Blue was his favorite color.
To see what draws thousands of visitors to this tranquil setting, its plays of natural light and colors that Claude Monet constantly chased, captured in famous paintings like Impression Sunrise and Poppy Field. So much of his work dictated by nature's illumination.
He selected the place and he came back so many times to make series, even several times a day, just to capture the light.
His pursuit of capturing the world in its raw beauty would later come to help define the Impressionist movement, celebrated earlier this year on its 150th anniversary. A style focused on nature's subtleties, a single flower or petal.
How would he create that with a brush?
He will make some little brush strokes, looking like little commas, side by side, because in fact the shape of the flower is not that important. It's the light coming on that is important, you see.
And here, the place that inspired some of Monet's most famous works.
This will look very familiar to a lot of people.
Yes, indeed.
The water lilies.
Many people think of this as one painting.
Yes.
This was many paintings.
They are in total 250 paintings, never been fed up about painting them again due to the changing lights.
That's right. Monet painted the water lilies 250 times.
He wanted to get that light, and that became his masterpiece.
The ponds he built in the village of Giverny, much to the annoyance of neighbors at the time, have long since been restored, along with the Japanese touches that also influenced him, allowing visitors to experience and reflect on how Monet saw the world.
Don't look far away on the other bank. Just look at the reflection, look at the water. You are like in a painting when you stand there. So for me, it's like being like in a painting.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.